I had always been a church girl, born and raised in a Christian home. I grew up knowing nothing but the ways of God. My parents made sure I attended church regularly, participated in Sunday school, and lived according to biblical teachings. When I gained admission into the university, I didn't stray from my upbringing. I joined a Christian fellowship on campus, attended services religiously, and even became known as a spiritual person. But despite my devotion to God, one thing remained constant in my life: poverty. I came from a struggling background where making ends meet was a daily battle. My parents barely had enough to take care of my younger siblings, let alone send me money regularly. I would sometimes go days without a proper meal, surviving on garri and water. Whenever I called relatives for help, they would either ignore my calls or give excuses. It was painful and frustrating to watch my classmates enjoy life while I had to scrap for survival. The weight of my financial struggles became heavier each day. I needed money and I needed it fast. I began contemplating how to make money without having to depend on my family. Then I met them, the girls who changed my life forever. One evening after fellowship, I ran into a group of girls who were known for their flashy lifestyles. They always wore the latest designer clothes, used expensive phones, and traveled to exotic places. I had always wondered how they could afford such luxuries while still being students. That day, they called me aside and struck up a conversation. "Ito, you are suffering too much," one of them, Amaka, said. "You are too fine to be broke." I laughed awkwardly. "What do you mean?" They exchanged knowing looks before one of them, Tasha, spoke. "See, you don't have to struggle. There are rich men out there willing to take care of you. All you have to do is give them your time." I frowned, already sensing where this conversation was heading. "You mean sleeping with men for money?" "Not just any man," Amaka corrected. "These are wealthy sugar daddies who will treat you like a queen. Just one night and you can make more than what your parents struggle to earn in months." I wanted to walk away, but my financial struggles held me back. Could this be the answer to my prayers? "You don't have to decide now," Tasha said, noticing my hesitation. "Think about it." That night, I barely slept. The temptation was strong. I had always been taught to rely on God, but was He really seeing my pain? If He was, why wasn't He sending help? The next day, I downloaded a dating app. It didn't take long before my profile attracted attention. Men, wealthy and powerful, filled my inbox with sweet words and promises of luxury. One of them, Mr. Chuk, stood out. He was older, refined, and extremely generous. "I like you," he messaged. "Let's meet up. I'll make it worth your while." "How much?" I asked, my fingers trembling. 500,000 naira for one night, he responded. My heart raced. 500,000 naira? That was more money than I had ever seen in my life. I could pay off my debt, buy food, and even save some. I ignored the nagging voice inside me and I agreed to meet him. That Friday, he invited me and my friends to a club. He wanted to have fun before taking me to his place. The moment I stepped into the club, I felt something shift inside me. A strong, uneasy feeling settled in my chest. "Ito, don't do this." It was a whisper, faint yet persistent. I knew it was the Holy Spirit warning me, but I silenced the voice. We drank, we danced, and partied late into the night. Then he leaned close and whispered, "Let's go to my place." As we drove, I became more uneasy. The route was unfamiliar. Instead of heading to the city, we were driving deeper into a remote area. Thick forests lined both sides of the roads, making me more anxious. "Where are we going?" I asked. "My house is ahead," he replied smoothly. Don't worry. I swallowed hard. This wasn't what I imagined. I thought we had been going to a luxurious hotel or well-known estate. Instead, we were heading into darkness. Finally, we arrived at a massive mansion. It was beautiful but eerily quiet. As we stepped inside, the air felt heavy. Something was wrong, but I couldn't place it. "Sit here," he said, leading me to his room. "I will get us drinks." The moment he left, I felt the strongest urge to leave. My hands were shaking. I looked around and spotted the bathroom door slightly open. Curiosity got the best of me, and I walked towards it. What I saw made my blood run cold. The bathroom was covered in blood. Human parts were stuck in a corner, legs, arms, head. I let out a silent scream. My body froze in terror. This man wasn't just a sugar daddy, he was a ritualist. I grabbed my bag and bolted out of the room. As I ran down the stairs, I heard footsteps behind me. "Stop her," he yelled. His bodyguard chased after me, but fear gave me wings. I ran faster than I had ever run in my life, bursting through the front door and into the dark night. I ran and ran until I found a road and managed to stop a passing car. The driver, seeing my panic state, took me straight to my hostel. The first thing I did when I got back was run to the church. I fell on my knees, tears streaming down my face. "God, I am sorry," I cried. I could have listened. That Sunday, I shared my testimony. I told everyone how I had almost lost my life because of greed and desperation. I admitted how I had ignored God's warning, but how in His mercies He still saved me. From that day forward, I vowed never to seek wealth the wrong way again. I started looking for a part-time job, and though it wasn't easy, I found one. It didn't make me rich overnight, but it gave me peace. That experience taught me a valuable lesson. God always warns us before danger, but it's up to us to listen. I had the spirit of discernment, but I ignored it because of money. I thought I could outsmart danger, but I was wrong. Many young people like me are lured into dangerous lifestyle because of financial struggles. But money made the wrong way will never bring peace. If God says no, trust Him. No amount of money is worth your life. Today I am a changed person. I have learned to trust God completely, knowing that He will always provide for me, even if it takes time. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly like, comment your thought about this story, share to your friends, and also kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Bye. See you in my next video.